Hello, it's me once again, Tony from the Game Challenger UK YouTube channel and also the GameChallenger.com. Thank you very much for actually tuning in again. We're looking at what the future is ours. We're looking at the emerging tech, emerging technology, how it's going to affect the Black community, and what we can do to take advantage of the opportunity. We've had some amazing discussions with Bosse and Joe on part one and part two, and now we're approaching the final part, which is part three. And now we're going to get some answers, some answers. Where is the opportunity? How is it going to affect us? What's going to happen if we don't do anything about it? Are we in pole position? There's some interesting conversations that we had in part two where we actually dissected it to the basics, and the basic was maths and English. Guys, we got to get good at our maths and English. Now, the math side we talked about is the technical side, the low level side. The English side is the high level stuff. Every part, English and maths play a major role in you being successful, especially in the AI side and the emerging technologies. So what I want to do, without further to do, is I'd like to go straight in. I've already started discussing, so we're going to go straight into the questions. So watch out. Here we go. What's it? Where's the opportunity? How do we get in there? Yeah.
You
And what's the
you
first
mentioned
move?
you mentioned about Africa and AI. I was watching something on YouTube, and there are some African governments that are investing in AI heavily. I can't remember the name of the country, but it'll have to come back to me because that was something I watched a couple of days ago. So
Yeah.
they'd invested. Do you know? Does anybody know the name of the country?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Burkina Faso.
in
Yeah.
Kenya, and so- but you
Burkina
know what?
Faso.
One
Mm,
thing I'll say with that.
mm.
One thing I say that I always like to look deeper in that because usually they're bringing people in, yeah, to
But I
create the system. No, 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 no,
Mm,
no, no, no.
yeah, I don't
Because
know.
usually it's like you can say they're investing in roads and railways. Then you go and look at the people that are building roads and railways, and they're not. A
The
lot
local
of them
people.
are not from
Yeah,
the local people.
yeah, the indigenous
What
people.
we
Yeah.
need, what we need, what we need is we need investment.
Mm.
Yeah. So we need investment in the people. Yeah. If the people are intelligent enough to be able to do it if they're shown how to do it.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Mm.
So okay, carry on, Boston.
Yeah,
How
so
does
I
that work?
think we need to kind of like understand what countries in Africa are investing in AI and what who they're using for that investment. Are they going to be using the native people, or are they, like you said, bringing people from outside into the country? And I think that we need to kind of like there's you just mentioned, how can they make use of how can we make use of this opportunity? Well, in business, if there's a problem, you find a solution. Obviously, we've realized cybersecurity, there's going to be a lot of problems with it, and they're spending, like you said, trillions a year because of it, in terms of like fighting it, or because they've had so many like problems with it. So we need to be one of those. Africa needs to be part of the solution, in terms of, let's get our people trained up, let's get them equipped with the skills, all the things that are blocking us, like the infrastructure. We need to get businesses involved to provide the infrastructure. We need to kind of like get leaders in tech within Africa, setting up centers to train these young people on the emerging technologies, or they can go online. There's all the information, but we need to kind of like get them understanding, look, this is what's happening. We need to be part of this revolution, and we need to be, part of the business that's going to like manage all these AI solutions and business and so on, and get on board now, sort of thing. So I kind of like, I do agree with you. We need to kind of like get the get solve all these problems. Number one, infrastructure. Number two, get get the young ones trained up on this, all the skills they'll need, and get the business leaders involved in being part of the solution, providing all of the like the business solutions to solve this problem with cybersecurity, and what other big trends out there that are a part of this as well. Because I don't think it's just going to be cybersecurity. I think there's other things that we're going to need, like technical solutions for. But the young people, let's get them trained up for this.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Boston. And Joe, over to you.
yeah, I mean, as I was saying, the other African countries are turning to other countries that are not that haven't been exploiting the African countries since the colonial time, like France and England and America. Yeah. You were talking about, you was asking questions. Let's move forward in a positive way, and I'm going to try and turn in my opinion.
Joe, do you mind me asking you a question? What do you mean by that point? You said something about there are other countries that are not, that haven't exploited us in a colonial way.
Exploited
That
us.
have,
What I'm
like
saying,
what?
right? Let's say Burkina Faso, Niger, yeah, which is the what is more which is being publicized and promoted on YouTube and on the news, and they've tried to assassinate the leader of the Burkina Faso. So,
Reportedly, yeah. Reportedly.
yeah, because he's doing the right thing, he's moving away.
Yeah.
The BRIC, there's another economic powerhouse called the BRIC, China, made of China, South Africa, and Russia, are moving away from the dollars into their own currency, which is gold, moving away from America, which hasn't got money, borrow money, print money, moving away. And they have never helped Africa over the decades of exploitations. Yeah. So what I'm saying is those countries like Burkina Faso are turning to the BRIC sector, who are able to help them without any vested interest. It is true that China may be exploiting these countries to a certain extent, but most to a greater extent, they're helping them. And the technology that needs to be developed in these countries are training, development, and move away from Western dependency. Yeah. That's one aspect of development. A classic,
Can I
a
just
classic
come?
let me just say this classic example is the internet that is used in Africa. Previously, the internet goes through Europe and from Europe to America. So therefore, the bandwidth or the speed is slow. So now those countries that I mentioned have now cut away from as American and now can get direct source of internet access, which improves the infrastructure straight to those countries rather than going to Europe and then America, which slows the bandwidth down. Yeah. So those are the gradual development. It's better than nothing, but they're developing. In terms of the future of our kids and our development, what you're doing, what we're doing, what we're promoting is, I'm making sure that my kids do probably a degree in artificial intelligence or computer science for the future, because 5 years' time, the environment that they're going to come into in terms of work, which has already changed, it's changed for me in terms of looking for work or working. Yeah, it's changed. So therefore, for me, I have to educate them. I said, if you want to progress in the next 10 or 5 years, when you come out of university, it's going to be a different world. Automation, robotics, in China, it's already advanced. China is advanced, more than European, more than England. Yeah. And their case are maths, artificial intelligence, robotic taxis, and so forth, and remote training. Yeah. So we need to educate our kids to do those subjects that other people don't want to do. It's as simple as that, which is maths and science. They don't want to do that. Some of our kids don't want to do that because it's too hard and it's too long. And that's the only way we're going to really address some of this chronic shortage. The other is they make laying off other people. They're laying off people from jobs now because they're restructuring. Because it's all about providing profit for the shareholders. From that point of view, whereas they used to need 10 people, 20 people for a project, now they only need 2. and the two have automation, programming, network, etc. So they save money. AI agents saves them each company money and more money for the shareholders. And that's what's important at the moment. So the world is changing, employment is changing. Yeah. So training and transformation of our view in terms of world of work needs to change from what it was 2 years ago, a year ago. It's changed.
Okay.
And this revolution that we're into now is bigger than the last revolution.
Yeah.
Far, far bigger than the last revolution.
Bigger and
That
faster.
revolution took a long time to materialize. This one is moving rapidly fast. As what Boss has said earlier on, there is a snake oil in relation to what they're saying AI is doing and making it fair. It can't do everything that they say it can do, yeah, but it's doing quite a lot.
Okay. Thanks for that, Joe. I think we probably have different views on the companies that are coming in to help Africa, and I think maybe my views is based on what I've seen. I think there's a lot of exploitation going on, and I'm not going to mention the countries. There's Nigeria, Ghana. They've had issues with minerals being taken and not being paid for. There's a number of reportedly, I'll say reportedly, not being taken. Sometimes, just like the colonial days, we have good roads from the colonial days because they built those roads so that they can get all our goods out fast, and also they can get the people out fast, as slaves. And the same thing's happening, really. We're getting good roads and good railways so that they can get those things out to the ports quickly, so that without any questions being asked. So there's a lot of things reportedly going on that side. So if history is not repeating itself already, and I think one thing we need to know as in the Black community is wherever there's help from a country that's external from us, there's also something they want, and they always use one little thing saying, no, you need to have road structures. I mean, an example is I heard that a certain airport, which I'm not going to mention, is actually was built by a country that I'm not going to mention because I don't want any football about. But that country now owns it for the next 100 years. They can't even. So for me, it doesn't make sense. Nigeria talks about oil all the time, isn't it? But really, it has a lot of gold, and the gold is being taken, but it's not accounted for. So what I'm basically saying to you is, look, we need to stop all this. And you talk about this we're moving away from the dollar, but what are we moving away to? To the brick. So who's the brick? We talk about, you said Russia, China, and so on, the direct brick, but it's still centralized. We need to, for me, I think the basic education, maths and English, that's what people need to get into to be able to come into a field. And then also, what are the jobs that are going to be affected by AI? I'm really sorry. I'm really scared for those people studying law at the moment. Because at the moment, there's AI. I'm telling you, some of the things that I used to call my lawyer for, I don't call him for anymore. Some of the things I used to call my accountant for, I don't call him for anymore. Because it probably would take about a few days for them to do it, and I can do it in a few hours or a few minutes on AI. So now a lot of those lawyers and people studying law, accounting, marketing, and all those things, they need to make sure that they pick up AI and say, how am I going to use AI to become more efficient so that I can deliver faster and cheaper? If I deliver faster and cheaper, I can still earn some more money anyway. Because I can't charge as much as I used to, but I can deliver more than I used to. Yeah. So I think that's one thing I'll say for the business people. I think we can take advantage of it also from the point of view of we have lots of small businesses in our community. Now, what can happen is we can use AI to look big. Yeah. We can use AI and we can use IoT, Internet of Things. We can use automation so that people don't trust each other. People don't trust each other in Africa. Let's just cut it. That's why in the Asian community they can build big businesses because they trust each other. In the African community, you tend to find one person is hiding one secret from this one and hiding one secret from another one and so on. And in the Caribbean community too. That's why we don't have big, massive in general. In general. So what it is, decentralization doesn't need trust. Decentralization doesn't need trust. So we can actually do things on a decentralized, on a blockchain, and it's transparent. Yeah. So therefore, we can grow a business. For example, you tend to find when you're going to a hairdresser's or you're going to buy African food in certain places, you tend to find that when you go to one of our people, the price is more expensive than if we go to the next shop, which is not from our community. And the reason why is because they're not buying in bulk. So really, there can be a way where they can use AI so that the whole of the community can buy in bulk and then distribute it accordingly. But these are things that we can do from a business angle. And for me, this is going to affect everybody. But the technologies that we need to get, the things that we need to get into, we need to get into AI, we need to get into, and AI is vast. It's not just one thing, it's vast. AI, blockchain is going to be massive. The fact that they're holding the blockchain conference in London is not a mistake. You look at the labels that they have on the blockchain conference, it's not a mistake. I think everybody in our community should get onto reading a book, reading something about decentralization, yeah, which is something massive because where we're going right now is centralization. The government would like us to go centralized, yeah, so that they can control the masses, yeah. Decentralization, the people own it. The people own it. Currently, I'm trying to put a bank together, which is a decentralized bank. Nobody owns it. It's the people that own it. Yeah. The other thing that we can do is bolted onto our Breaking Free platform. We actually use a platform called Trustpoly, which basically everybody that wants to learn how to have a feel, what does it feel like being decentralized, can can go through Breaking Free, and then we can get them onto the Trustpoly system, which is an academy, which you can learn video. They have videos of AI, videos of blockchain, videos of wellness, and then we can grow as a community. How much does it cost? Ask me, how much does it cost? It costs $5.99. $5.99. That's about I think it's about £4 or something like that. Yeah. Some people go and buy lottery tickets every week and they lose every week. Yeah. This is just and when this $5.99, by the way, is only once for a lifetime. Yeah. And with the thing when we talk about decentralization of blockchain, it's for life. It doesn't expire. I can't stop it. It's like a train with no driver. I can't stop it. The government can't stop it. Nobody can stop it because it's now duplicated over so many different nodes. So I think what I would suggest everyone does, because it's very scary, because the word decentralized is scary, come on to our live platform, which only costs you $5.99 for a simple thing so that you can learn, you can actually own some small little crypto and you can see how it all works. And then you can build, because everyone you bring onto it, you get something back for it. So, and that's how we will learn. When we go on something like that, that's how we will learn more about what we're doing. And that's how we will gain confidence and then say, you know what, let's try more of this decentralization. Yeah. So I think training on decentralization, training on blockchain, getting involved, AI, cybersecurity is going to be massive. Yeah. But guess what? Cybersecurity is before the hackers used to be people. Yeah. And now the hackers are AI and
AI agent.
So now it's like With people, they're slow, aren't they? They log in, they say, okay, let me try this. AI says, oh, I didn't get in. It learns the fact that it didn't get in, and then it goes again, boom, and again, boom, and again, boom, until it gets in. So that's why it's going to be massive on that side. And I think everybody, all our community need to just understand one thing, that we need to, anything that's repetitive, if you are doing a job that's repetitive, the likelihood is you are going to be replaced. Yeah? Because what they look for is patterns. AI does not think, it looks at patterns. Yeah. So if it has patterns, if your job is repetitive, likelihood you will be replaced. Yeah.
Yeah, because automation.
Exactly. Unless the big bosses now, even the Facebook guy is scared now. Yeah. Do you know he's got an island now where he's got his own island where he's gonna go if the robots and AI get out of control. Because some of these they're saying some of these AI agents and robots, they're going to be more intelligent than human beings. So when you say, can you do this? One day it's going to turn around and say, no, boss, I'm not doing this. Get lost.
Well, they are already, because I think what really made me think about AI
Guys,
was
by the way, before we finish, we've only got about a few more minutes, 5 more minutes, and we're done. Yeah? Go, carry on.
No, it's all right. Just a quick one. There's two things. What really made me think about the power of AI when they're talking about how it's already disrupted the medical industry. And they said this, over a year ago now. The fact that when you go in and you have some type of cancer, or you need to be diagnosed about some sort of illness, the doctors, a lot of the same symptoms are in different diseases. So you can't necessarily, the doctors have to go through so much to kind of work out what you've got. But AI is a billion times faster. If it looks at your I don't know, your ultrasound or your scan result, it can tell, it will use that pattern and run it through AI, and it will tell you in seconds the type of cancer you have and how it can be treated. So that just already tells you, of course it's going to be more intelligent than us. It's doing things 10 times faster, billion times faster than how we could ever do it. So that's the power. Oh my God, this is what we're facing. And you talk, one other thing that Joe was talking about in terms of like learning. I remember working with business mentors. They were like, if the universities don't change their business model, forget about degrees of a certain kind. You're wasting your time. The way you're going to learn is not going to be by doing your degree. It's going to be out of date. You need to kind of jump on the technology. And there are some jobs you do need to go to uni for, like medicine, blah, blah, but they even need to modify their model and incorporate AI. But what he was saying is, you no longer need to go to university, because you can learn a lot more faster and quicker by going and doing a course, because they need to adjust their models now, these educational institutes, because you can learn so much without actually attending them. It doesn't make sense to wait 5 years or 3 years or 4 years, you've got your degree. It's out of date.
That's good.
So
good point. Yeah. In fact, sometimes by the time they write it on paper, it's expired. Okay, Joe, last thoughts just before we wrap up.
Yeah, just the last one. Although we talk about Africa, we talked about industrial market and everything like that. But for us here, the things that's changing, us here in England and Western world, I think the things we need to do, because AI is going to make more millionaires, individual millionaires, than anything. What we need to do is learn about entrepreneurial and become self-employed using artificial intelligence. Now, people are making millions online now. Simply, they were homeless last year. This year, I'm on that wagon. They're making 20,000 a month. Yeah, we need to get on that wagon. Learn what they use, as what Tony says, action and put into action and see what happens using AI. Because the thing is, you can no longer depend on a company providing you a lifetime of employment. The only people that guarantee money are the shareholders. those investors. And some investors are running out of this country because of the tax. So us as a Black person, we have to think of self-employed, entrepreneurial ideology, because there ain't going to be job for us. And one politician says the AI will wipe out completely, which maybe is a working class. The working class no longer exists, except the bricklayer. The professor says the only people that are going to survive the AI revolution are the bricklayers, plasterers, because AI can't take that over. But in China, they're making robotics that are building houses within a few hours. Yeah,
Well,
that's what you think about. For me, for this, England is to look at entrepreneurial, AI entrepreneurial, because you can set it up within days or hours, they're saying. That's my conclusion.
thank you, Joe. I mean, that's amazing. Look at got in some very good stats from Rosanna. Just in the last 6 months, 190,000 new millionaires emerged through AI. Wow. 190,000 new millionaires emerged from AI in just the last 6 months. So it's not all doom and gloom. Yeah. We've just got to get this thing going. Just got to get this thing going. Just get it going. You know, I'm one of these people who say, look, there's the difference between you and a millionaire and a billionaire is not knowledge. Yeah. It's actually action. Yeah. A millionaire will know probably only 2% of what you know, but will apply maximum action on that 2%. Where some people know 100 times more than a millionaire, but only will apply 1% action on that. Yeah. So that's the difference. So I think what the final thing I'll say is, look, you know what? Thank you all for coming on the call. Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you, Lincoln. The other thing I'll say, Bosse, is people listening to this right now, yeah, they're a bit confused. Yeah, they have no qualifications, or they're not really technically minded. How can you help them? How can you, let's look at the ladies. How can you help them?
When you say confused in terms of what direction can they,
Yeah,
or any offer any advice?
yeah.
I
What
don't
advice can you
think,
give them to get involved in this new wave of emerging technologies? What advice can you give them?
I would say don't focus on the negatives, focus on action and what you can do, just what you've just said. So go and do your research, go online, understand the technologies in AI that are emerging, and then go onto Udemy or websites like that where you can just do a short course and understand, learn about the new technologies and get involved. And then also, like you said, download. If you're not using AI, you need to start using AI, talking to it, understanding it, and then, just immerse yourself in it. Go and get as much information as you can, and then you will then start to realize, oh my God, there's so much out there. And then you can start to fine tune what you want to get involved in, And like you said, I think the best advice, my advice today, is skill up, go and learn, go and immerse yourself in it, and get involved. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind.
And how can they get in touch with you if they want to know more about how to do it?
Sure. Well, I'm on LinkedIn. You know that, so you can find me on LinkedIn. You can message me. Yeah, and then
Okay.
I'm
Is
happy.
it your full name, Bosse Bella, on
Yeah,
LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll find me.
Okay.
Um,
And do you charge per hour?
no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
You can just
Okay.
message me because I'm happy to kind of like answer any questions, and just because this, like you said, the information's out there. but it's just helping people just to get started. And I think what I do a lot in my spare time is I like to understand what's going on with AI. So I'll just go onto different platforms and find out, and because there are a lot of people that are leading the conversation on AI on different social media platforms, and there's big companies and organizations talking about what we need to be worried about as a business, what's coming. As I said, I watched a video about the vice president of Okta talking about what the cybersecurity threats are going to be. They look totally different to what people imagine them to be. So all of that information is it's so interesting. And then it started me thinking, okay, so that could be another career path. If I get made redundant, that's another career path I could be interested in. So go and get involved, immerse yourself in it, go and YouTube, go and listen to all the people talking about it. There's people leading the conversation out there, and it's so interesting.
Right. And Joe, the same question. What advice do you have for somebody out there that wants to get involved in cybersecurity and AI in your field? Yeah.
Yeah, as I said in the beginning, I'm a tutor, I'm a trainer, change degree levels and the level 3 and level 4 in data analysis and artificial intelligence. I think what is important is if you're in this arena, you need to know a little bit more about technologies like Python, data, cloud computing, cybersecurity, because everything you process has to be bottled, has to be locked down and protected. I've been training for quite a long time, 30 years, over 30 years. So, and I do provide training. But another important emerging part is a lot of companies in England, we're out of Europe now, are going into Europe and having business in Europe. You need to know the governance that governs artificial intelligence in the sense that the rules, you use artificial intelligence, but the intelligence learns from you. But do you, and there's data protections, there's patent rights, API using different information from different websites in order to collect and present you the information. And also it learns from you through the models. But by using the models, but then you need to be able to protect your data, your information, or what the models learn from you, not to distribute those information. I used to take students' work, put it on AI, mark it, but I find that you can stop it from distributing those information to other users on the system. So you need to know about the governance, the rules about that. So what I'm saying is get training. Don't completely dismiss what you're doing. Just use AI to integrate what we need to do in order to survive. Don't just say, I can't do it at all. And avoiding is a gimmick and it's not going to work. You just need to integrate it to what you're doing.
All right, thank you, sir. And can they find you on LinkedIn?
Yes, I'm on Joseph Edgar on LinkedIn.
Okay, and you provide training, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you charge per hour. I hope you're affordable for people that are on this call. Yeah.
I'm running 15 minutes free on artificial intelligence, data, cybersecurity.
Okay.
What actually do for adults?
Okay. So you do 15 minutes free. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You said you do 15 minutes free? Is that
Yeah,
right? 15 minutes free. Okay. Good. Yeah. How many times can we come 15 minutes? Okay, so finally on my side,
I'm not offering freeness for you, Tony.
Okay, so if I were you guys, they're offering some free training for like 15 minutes. I'd take advantage of that. And for me, you know me anyway, I'm always around. What my advice is obviously for somebody that's new, if you can, because I think one of the things I think we need to do is have a physical location where people that are a bit afraid of technology, afraid of going online and doing things, they can come to. And we will provide that. We're looking at providing that where you can come and learn some AI and cybersecurity, blockchain, all that, and you can come to our office and then I can arrange, hopefully, maybe Bosse or Joe can also be here to help on training sites. So that's me. And thank you, Bosse, and thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for
have a
having
good
us.
evening. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So you heard us, guys. Listen to those free services that you're going to get from Bosse, myself, and Joe. Thank you very much, Bosse and Joe. It was quite a long round, but I hope you all enjoyed the first three parts. We're not going to be talking about this again. We're going to obviously look at other topics. But if anyone has any ideas of any other topics that you want us to discuss, whether it's in the Black community, whether it's in the minorities, whether it's in the Caucasian community, please just put your comments in there, like, subscribe, and share. So what I want you to do is like, subscribe, and share. And also, let's get our English and maths on board. And also take advantage of Joe and Boss's service they're going to give you. Look them up on LinkedIn. And remember what I say, from the Game Challenger UK YouTube channel, I want to say thank you. And remember, like, share, subscribe, and notify. That's me, Tony, over and out.